What's up? What's up? What's up? Joe, you can come up, bro. What up,
Hey,
Slimmy
bro.
Slim?
Hold on, dude. You know what? I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna use my other phone because I could barely hear anything.
All right.
I'm feeling pretty good. What's up, man?
Oh, just messing around.
Cool, cool, cool. Started your new life?
What's that?
You just got live?
No, I've had live for a while, man. I just don't do it often because I'm usually busy.
Okay.
But the kids and the wife are off at appointments right now, so I got a few hours to mess around. So that's what
Sounds
we're
good.
doing.
I hear you, bro.
Got to have some me time, man. I try to make some me time usually at night when everybody goes to sleep, at least for a couple hours. But now we're gonna do it in the day.
Yeah, I know that. I know what you mean, man.
Got to
Family
keep
life
life.
is a busy life, man.
Oh yeah, man. You got to keep life enjoyable, though.
Yeah,
Have
that's
the
what I kept
things that
trying.
you like to do.
Exactly, man. I've been trying to tell that to a lot of people I know, a lot of family, and they rather live the cookie cutter, day in, day out type of lifestyle.
Hey, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. Just make some time for yourself. You
Well,
have
that's
to.
it. This is what I'm saying. It's you just gotta make some time for yourself. You know, you can't just go off and uh, just live to work instead of working to live.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I definitely agree. You know, somebody once told me that every paycheck you get, spend a couple dollars out of there and get something out of yourself, man. It's a reward for every week
Yes,
that you work, man, and you deserve it.
yes, yes. Even if you have to save up the money to to buy whatever you're looking to buy,
Exactly.
and do that, man, because fuck, like you gotta bring some kind of happiness into your life, man.
Yeah, because nobody else is gonna do it. That's one thing that's for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly, bro. Exactly. I'm actually trying to figure out what the hell I'm gonna do with my job, man. Because that's I've been on disability for almost 9 months now because of the job. I just did a complete burnout, and that's it. But now it's like I got like a month or two to figure out what I'm gonna do. But one thing's for sure, I don't think I'm gonna be going back to that job. Plus, knowing it's in the banking business, but it's like nah.
Somebody also once told me that if you enjoy your work, you'll never work a day in your life, man. Find something you like to do.
Oh
Don't
yeah,
do
for
something
sure.
that you don't want to do because it's not worth it, man. You have to spend 75% of your life at a job. And I know
This
people
is
are
it,
always
man.
amped to say, you got to stay there, you got bills to pay. I understand that. But you
Yeah,
also have to enjoy the things that you do so you don't burn yourself out and make yourself dull. It
yeah.
happens to so many people, man.
I agree 100%, man. That's the way it's got to be, man. Because it's like work is it's like you said, it's a big chunk of your life, and it's exactly what I said before. It's where you work to live. But if you can find a job that you can at least tolerate what you're doing and it's enjoyable, it's gratifying in some way, at least you get that out of it, you know? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not just a paycheck, it's also your state of mind and everything else that comes with it.
Yep. And like I said, if you do something that you enjoy, you'll never work a day in your life, man. Whether it's helping people out, whether it's giving your time up to build stuff, uh, just make it enjoyable. Even if you have to do something that you don't necessarily like,
Yeah.
make it enjoyable. You know, that's
Yeah.
something that I
Well, it
strive to
depends where
do
you
in
are
any
there, but
job.
yeah. I mean that goes so far, like make it enjoyable. Like sometimes you just can't make it enjoyable. It's like one of those jobs where it is what it is, and if you don't like it, you get the fuck out.
Yeah, I agree,
But
man.
other times, like yeah, you can make it enjoyable. My problem is that every time I get to a job, I'm always like, well, as I'm working, I'm finding like new ways to do the job better, but I'm always getting shat on by the managers or the bosses. And it's because I understand in one way that, if a company's been doing something for so long and it works, don't like, you can't come and be like, well, I know a way to do it better. And you just got there.
It's a big problem with new management. I'm reading a book
Yeah.
that's called The 48 Laws of Power, and this is
Right.
one of the things that it actually goes over is if you're trying to implement new things, do it in a slow manner. Do it
Yeah.
so that people are recognizing the benefit from it, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. Most of the time, it's like you do it first. Sometimes, like, you could do it without telling say anything to anybody. And then when the results come out, like, they'll notice it, and if they could either be like, okay, that was good, but we still rather you do it this way, or that was good, but let's see, maybe we could explore that idea, or just a flat out no, just do it this way.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think it's especially with the experience that I've had in jobs, I think it's necessary, man. People always take a negative effect if you, and a lot of places make this mistake where they won't even explain why they're making these changes. And
Yeah,
I think that actually causes more turmoil than, um, in other cases.
yeah. I find that when you have a company that is like kind of keeps the doors open and keeps things how can I say it, transparent, if they keep things transparent with the employees and let them know, like, hey guys, we're doing this and this because you're the ones that are going to be implementing these, new regulations or new ways of doing things. Like, what do you think? Do you think it's doable? Or, because they a lot of times, like, I'm in machining, right? So I work like at the bank, but I studied to be a machinist. And um most of the time, like, they would ask us, "Hey guys, we're doing this. What do you think?" Blah blah blah, blah. And the company it is striving, it's doing so well.
Right. It shows a respect to your employees. You're
Yeah,
involving them
exactly.
in the management process, and they do appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
It's proven.
exactly. You just got to show that, like that you're willing to work and you're willing to try the things that they're trying to implement, but at the same time, they've given you the information for you to be like, okay, I get it. Okay, I see what they're trying to do, and you feel more involved.
Right. Yeah, I agree, man. I do agree,
Yeah, man.
and it creates motivation in whatever you're trying to implement because they feel part of whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think that's the main objective to any management, that you want your employees to feel a part of the job. You want them to feel part of whatever you're trying to accomplish. What's
Yeah,
going
look
on,
at
rookie?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
hey, rookie, what's up? Same shit, different day, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Sitting here,
ain't that the truth?
420 in it.
Get it done, bud. So what's on your mind, rookie? You got anything for us today?
Well, I watched a video today that thought was quite interesting.
Hey, I just want to let you know you're a little quiet, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm outside and I got a fan going in the background. It's probably drowning me out. Sorry. Um, I watched a video this morning. I'm trying to remember what it was now because the weed's kicking in. Sorry. Um, it was shit. Now I forget. Give me a minute. I just watched the damn thing too. It wasn't that long ago, but I guess my mind went somewhere else, and now my mind's somewhere else. But I don't know. What do I want to talk about? What's on my mind? I guess it's blank right at this moment.
Well,
I
that's a
have
good
that
thing.
problem.
It's gonna come back to
often,
me
too.
here any second now. It's gonna go pow, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, that's right." But,
It could
Yeah.
be a good thing when your mind's empty, you know?
I guess so. I guess I should be happy that it doesn't. It's very, very rare that I ever like have a blank, empty mind.
You know,
Yeah.
during meditation, that's the first thing you do, man, and it's all right. It's all right to clear your mind, become one
Yeah.
with everything around you.
That's right.
I find that usually the only time I have a blank mind is whenever I'm really, really angry. Like really angry, I can't think straight at all. Or
Like anxious,
when
you
I'm
mean?
embarrassed, and I'm really
Ah.
embarrassed, or like if I'm having a panic attack or something, then like I don't know if you've ever experienced that yet, but
Yeah, I have, man.
It's,
I think
wouldn't
that's
call
one
it a
of
panic
my.
attack. I guess you could call it whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
You know, I was reading something, and for a lot of men, when we get angry or frustrated, we get quiet. We don't
yeah.
burst out, and I think it's actually a defense mechanism because we all know what happens when we over excess,
When
when
we
we
overthink.
burst out. You know, things might happen that we don't want to happen.
Yeah, I was. That's something that popped into my head too because I was watching another video. TikTok's funny. It seems to feed me things that I want to watch, and I think sometimes it doesn't realize how well it does that. But now I'm blank mind again. Man, this is working great. But like I said about being angry, it's like I know that because it's like when I get angry, all I want to do is grab something and hurt somebody, right? I'm thinking like, how am I going to hurt you, or how am I going to get back at you or get revenge, right? And this is just being honest. And
Yeah.
but I can never. But the problem is that my mind is so blank because I'm so mad that I can't even think. Like I can't even think straight about where I would find a weapon, even though there might be one sitting right next to me or in my pocket. I'm sitting there blank minded, going, "What am I going to do?" Like it's like because I don't sit around and think about what I'm going to hurt, how I'm going to hurt people. So whenever that happens, it just automatically blanks my mind out, and I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that gives me the ability to just shut it down and just walk away.
Yeah,
You know what I
Bro,
mean?
you know
Or get
what?
out
The
of that
best
situation.
piece of
You know what
advice
I
I
mean?
can give you is to step back out of yourself and just give yourself time to relax, take a deep breath, think.
yeah. That's actually what I was gonna say. You
Center
know, the best
yourself
thing that
again
we can do
because
in most
yeah,
situations is reflect.
exactly. It's just
Yeah,
to sit back, and if you can't respond, it's because you don't want to respond. It's weird. It's your subconscious telling you to withdraw, not to attack. Because
Right,
if
yeah,
you really
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to attack, you would.
yeah, exactly. I think if it was in
And
my nature to hurt, yeah, I think I'd just snap and do it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's true. And I usually
so
panic and I stop because I think what it is it stems from my childhood. I'm sure it is.
yeah. Well, a lot of shit stems from our
Childhood,
childhood,
childhood
man.
can
A lot
suck.
of stuff.
Let's put it that way. It can be really bad to be a child. Like kids get a lot of kids go through a lot of crap and you don't realize it.
Yeah,
You don't
man.
want to talk about it or whatever. It's too bad too. I wish I could have talked to somebody about some of the stuff that I dealt with and been able to trust them. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been nice. But I never really trusted anybody because every time I ever talked to a shrink or something, like when my family, well, let's put it this way: my stepmom's ex-husband sued her for custody of her two kids, the two boys, right? My stepbrothers, and because of that, they wanted to have me emotionally checked by a doctor or whatever to make sure that I was like not gonna be bad for kids. You know what I'm saying? That's what kind of weird, what kind of asshole the guy was. Is he
Wow.
put that in the paperwork that he thought I was a bad influence on him, and my dad had just adopted me after seventh grade because I had, I failed seventh grade and I wasn't doing well in school as I was acting out because I was an outcast. So, and it got me in a lot of trouble. So my dad was dealing with that with me, and then his new wife, my stepmom,
Yeah.
she gets sued by this. So I ended up going to the shrink a couple of times, and I basically opened up and told him everything. I thought I could trust him. He told me, I won't tell your parents anything what you told me, and all I can tell them is, like a diagnosis and all this stuff. And of course, I believed him, so I opened up and told him the truth, and I told him about, all the bad things that happened to me. And of course, then they used that they used that against her and took the kids and let the kids go live with their dad and then had
No,
to
my
visit
God.
her instead. Yeah, it was pretty messed up.
That's
And I felt like
that's pretty
horrible
much what
about
happened to
that.
me with my
Like,
kid, man.
yeah. But can
Like,
you imagine how I felt about that? Like I
Snafu.
felt like it was my fault.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
See, the thing is with me is that um, I wasn't doing anything bad. I was just depressed, and I
Yeah.
didn't have the money to go and do all the things that my kid wanted to go and do, and like after a while he knew, and he didn't bother asking to do stuff with me anymore because he knew that I was like broke. But then when I got out of it and things were going better and all this stuff, he became like those other kids where it's like, oh, what do you want to do? I don't know. Like they no idea what they want to do. Like it's like it has to be super expensive to do, or I don't know. Like it's just give me something I can do for 5 minutes, and then that's really expensive, and then we'll see after that. That thing.
I believe that's an adolescent thing, man. We all went through
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is that they my ex-wife was used that up against me many times she used to bring me to court like fucking every 6 months to a year. She'd bring me to court to contest something that you're not being a good dad or whatever. Once I completely humiliated her and her lawyer because at one point my son said something like, "Oh, like there's never any food, any snacks or anything like that." Da 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 da. So I said, "Oh yeah, no problem." I took pictures of every pantry, my fridge, my freezer, and then my big freezer full of meat, full of like frozen vegetables, full of good food, and like all my like there wasn't any kind of like because I'm diabetic, so I can't eat shit. So I had like stuff that is good for you. And when the judge saw that, he right away he dismissed the case. He said, "This is not, the father's trying to show good, what's the word? A good impression on his child, and he's trying to show him how to eat well. It's not a question that he has no food. Obviously, you can both see that the man has food in his house to feed the kid. Your son's just being picky. Literally, that's what he said. Like your son's just being picky. That's it." And then I told the judge, I said, "Your Honor, like, um, you know, can this be put in somewhere where they're taking advantage of the justice system and abusing it? Because you could say that." And the judge said, "That I'm gonna have to look into." He goes, "But you are right. This is misuse of the judicial system." So right there, they both got fucking hammered. Right, I was like smiling from freaking ear to ear, man.
That's good, man. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it does feel good when things work out in our favor as fathers.
Yep, exactly.
It's sad we have to put a lot more effort than you know, our counterparts.
Yeah, exactly. And most of the time, it's that. It's like and I hate saying it, but it's true. Like, it's often the case where like the mother gets more um, flexibility and more of the understanding because the men before us fucked it all up. And we have to be honest about that. A lot of men mistreated their wives and and all that stuff, but at the same time too, I'm sure there was a lot of like not real stories being said from women, like the bitter type of woman that doesn't want to, just wants to get back at the husband because they cheated or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's sad, man. Yeah, I mean, on both sides, there's fault on both sides. The bottom line, that's what it is. But it's not cool when the court system leans 60%, 70%, or 80% on one side and then nothing on the other side.
Yeah, and it happens a lot, man.
Fuck
It is
right.
a sad situation.
Definitely, man.
And the worst part about it is it's the kids that suffer. It's not the parents.
Yeah,
Obviously we
exactly.
go through suffering, so don't misconstrue what I'm saying, but the worst of it goes to the kids. And we see that with what society is dealing with.
Yep,
So
exactly.
it's
I told my ex-wife when we split. I told her that day. I go, "This kid, you just ruined him." She's like, "What do you mean?" And I told her, I said, I guarantee you, when he's in his teen years, something's gonna happen. I guarantee it because most of the time when parents separate and the kid's young, when they grow up, they're full of anger and they can't make sense of what happened exactly between the parents. And deep inside, they still want the parents to be together in some cases.
yeah,
But and then like as soon as I finished, like I said other things, and as soon as I was done, she said, "You know what?" She goes, "You're absolutely right." She goes, "But I'm gonna have to deal with that when that happens." I'm like, okay, man. And she left me only because I was going through a heavy depression, and I wasn't coming out of it. And she's like, you know, where our relationship is not what it was, and I can't deal with this all the time. It's bringing me down, and this and that. I get that, but if it was in my place, I would have never have done that to anybody. Like I would have been there to support and bring that person up so that we both can work together and get things going. You don't kick somebody while they're down, man. That's like the most nastiest shit you can do to anybody.
yeah, yeah. But
Because if she was depressed and she was home, it would have been like I don't know if you guys have that experience of seeing a couple and the wife is the one that's going through a depression and all, like everybody under some for some reason understands without question. In my circle, uh like the Italian community is very judgmental and very how can I say it, unsympathetic towards a man being mentally ill or anything like that, and usually shun in a way where you're not good. You're not a good father. You're not a good provider, and all this stuff. And it's harsh, man. It's fucking harsh.
yeah, dude, I know what you mean, man. I know what you mean. It's like we're not allowed to have, in a way, emotions. But then it's crazy because you'll hear them on the other hand say that we're not, what do they call it? Emotionally intelligent. They use the term. It's
Yeah,
just, it's wild, man.
yeah. That's like like it's very ignorant on people's part to think that. Like we say that we've advanced in life and intelligence and all this stuff, but it seems like what makes sense, which is a human person has feelings whether they're male or female. Um, when it comes to male, like we're seen as the tough guys, as the guys that can handle anything and all this stuff, but there's more and more men that are suffering now than there ever was. From mental illness, and it's that stress and the um, how can I say it, the expectation of a man to be able to do what people are expecting men to do, which is to be able to take care of the family and all that stuff, and go to work and make the money. The wife stays home, or she goes to work too, or whatever. But there's a lot of pressure on men to how can I say, to live up to the expectation.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that now there's like a double standard. So they'll tell you that you have to do these things that we
Yeah,
always were kind of expected to do, but now there's it it's like it's
they made it
what's
impossible. Put it that way.
yeah.
Not impossible, but they made it that much harder.
Yeah, I
They put.
agree.
I think I know where you were gonna lead with that. Like they made it so that you're still expected to do what you're expected to do, but at the same time too, they bring in these new laws, and they bring in people from out of Canada, like immigrants, expecting to get more votes, more taxpayers, more of all that. Because bottom line, that's all it is. It's just create instability within the not the public, but the how can I say it?
In the government,
Well, government,
society.
yeah, but in society, yeah, society in general, like they try to create that instability. So, like these people come, they give them this, they give them that, and it's like, okay, but I'm sure there's people out there that are on the streets that do want to work. I'm pretty sure, and the ones that can't is because they're either disabled physically or mentally,
Yeah,
and that's
and it's
never brought, like, instead of like shunning people, why don't you take care of people, and that would take care of a situation too.
yeah, and it's happening in the U.S. too. I'm from the U.S. and things are getting harder and harder every day,
Yep. Well,
every
this is what
day.
they want. They want civil unrest, and they want to create havoc, like just people fucking freaking out and fighting against each other. This is what they want. It's coming. It's sad, but it's true.
Sad but true.
Sad but true. What song was that again? What?
Metallica.
Yeah. Isn't it sad that we keep on talking about negative shit, man?
It's it is, but and another thing is you have to change your way of thinking too, because everything
Oh
doesn't
yeah.
a negative situation doesn't have to be negative. It can be turned
No,
into
this is it.
into positive. That's for sure.
Well, that's this is the whole situation too. It's like we need to create. We need to have those, like we were saying before, those me moments where you chill, you do stuff that you like. You take your kid out fishing, and or do something that they like to do. You know what I mean? And enjoy life. Or do something all together as a family. Or even get grab a couple of buddies, go out and do stuff.
Yep.
And it's shame, and they've made it work, where we don't do that anymore.
You have to set aside time to do that. You have
Yeah,
to do it regardless of what you believe. If you think
yeah,
that you don't have time, well, then that's what's going to happen. You're not going to have time to put to it, but you have to change your way of thinking.
yeah, exactly. Like for me, the ideal um, way of life would be, yes, to go to work, to do a nice job that you like, something that's gratifying, something that is not always the same. The same thing day in and day out, where you're like it's literally like punching a stamp in a way. You know what I mean? And to have a good 5 hours, maybe 3 to 5 hours, totally alone by yourself, so you can just breathe and let things just move out of your body, all the negative out of your body in meditation or whatever you can, whatever brings you to that state of calmness, and then a good 5 hours for family, at least minimum a week. 5 hours, you go out, you do something, or you go see your brother or your family member or whoever, friends too, and all that stuff. You gotta have, if you're gonna work hard, you need to play at least a little.
Yeah, relationships are not a passive thing. You have to put
No,
effort into it.
exactly, exactly, man.
What's up, Bruce? How you doing, buddy?
Christopher.
I am doing good, thank you. Sorry, I'm juggling a few things, so.
Oh, I get it,
Oh,
buddy. That's what I'm usually doing all the time, man. I
How are
got
are you
you?
some
in the
time during the day,
washroom?
so that's what we're doing. We're setting some time aside to take care of myself, do the something
Yep,
I enjoy,
yep.
and talk with other people. What's on your mind, Bruce?
Right now, eating.
All right, all
Nice.
right.
um, I was just listening to what you guys were saying about spending time with like family and stuff like that. Some people have a small circle, so I think it's important to kind of really carve out that time or try to definitely make connections with other people that you feel safe with. It's important.
Yeah, I agree with
Yeah,
that. Like I have like I have four siblings, and hold on, there's a big truck passing. Yeah, I have four siblings, and it's like I barely see them. Like the last time I saw them, I think was like last summer, and they live like not even 20, 30, like about 30 minutes away from me, each and every one of them.
and it's all it. So it comes down to quality over quantity. When you have a smaller circle, then your
Yeah,
relationship and your how you spend time with people, it becomes more to do with quality and the quality time that you spend with this small group that you have. You know.
yeah, exactly.
It's really true. I only have one sibling, and it's just the two of us. Everybody else is non existent. So it definitely makes that connection much stronger. And some people don't really even have that. They're kind of on their own and going through the experience what we went through.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
And if you
struggle.
notice, people that have more friends, they're not, their bond is not strong. I mean, in
no,
most cases, it's very fleeting. It might seem on the outside, that they spend time with a lot of people or they're very popular, but these relationships come and go so quickly, and then the next thing you know it, they're not spending time with the same people or the same group of people. They have a different group that they're spending time with.
yeah, that's true, man.
It is.
And
I
there's
don't think
more
you.
drama. The more friends you have, the more drama you're gonna have to deal with, man.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like I used to have like I wouldn't say like I had a good, let's say 20, 30 strong friends. Okay, back when I was DJing, we used to do everything together, man. And, like we used to work in the same clubs. We used to rotate. Like okay, this week you play there, and this that week you play there. Like it was like a kind of like an association, but it was more us just being friends, and supporting each other. And we never went a week or a weekend without making money working as DJs. And but I had like 5,000 followers, and wherever I went, they would come too. Or like if I played a small venue, I would invite the closest people that I knew, and the most important people. But like those were acquaintances, they weren't friends, so there wasn't really quality. So
yep.
that's what I'm trying to say, is that it wasn't a quality friendship, it was more of a quantity friendship, if you want to say it that way. But
Totally understand.
yeah, man.
And I
I
often make the mistake where I'll call acquaintances friends. And I think it's just being friendly. I like to consider these people as friends, but they're more, like you say, acquaintances than
Yeah,
they are friends. They're people that you spend a little bit of time with, and it's not quality. If you do
yeah,
talk about subjects, it usually pertains to work or where you're seeing these people the most.
yeah, exactly, exactly, man. But like in the club industry, like whoever you talk to, it's always in a good vibe, man. It's always like You know, people are there to have fun, so they're in a happy
Wobble
mood. You know,
wobble.
exactly. But that's why I always said it, man. I love the nightlife. Even people at night. Like, I mean, you find most of the time you find real people during the night. For some
What's
reason,
going on,
everybody.
Wobble?
Yo,
Oh, wobble wobble.
How are you doing today?
um, I would lie if I would say that it's going great, but yeah, we're
You know,
alive.
one of the biggest misconceptions or misunderstandings is that life doesn't have to be great all the time. It's the curse and the blessing that life involves. In order to have good times, you must also have bad times, or quote unquote bad times. I don't like to consider them bad because in my personal opinion, I don't think these things are really bad. There's usually some kind of lesson that comes with these bad times.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's just that we're so used to calling it bad times, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I wonder when my good times will start then.
Yeah,
I hear
I'm with
that.
you there, sister. I'm with you on that, man. A lot of big changes are gonna about to happen, and financially, and if things don't go good, man, it's not gonna look very good for me, man.
I
But
believe we're on the up and up. I keep saying up and up. There is
yeah,
nowhere
yeah,
but up from here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yeah. I hear you, man. I hear
If
you.
we collectively just think positive thoughts for you, we can manifest that reality. So if all of
That's
us
true.
in that group can just constantly think everything will work out good for you, everything will be abundant, it'll
Exactly.
manifest.
Everything. The best words I love hearing is everything's gonna be okay. I
Yes,
love
sir.
hearing that. That
True.
is like for me is such a uplifting phrase because everything will be okay.
Yes, it
It's just
will.
it's the moment gearing up to that place, you know. And once you
Wobble,
achieve it,
you got
you're
any
like,
dreams to
"Fuck, I
share
did
with
it."
us today?
Oh, too much, too much. But mostly from a very personal perspective. So I think I got recently pretty much challenged by some sort of demon.
Uh oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's quite fun. Actually, it's quite fun. Because it came to a point that the person that was visiting my dreams was like drawing his sign, his how do you call it? Um,
His
yeah,
persona.
let's say it is sign on my face, and I was like, bro, did I give you like? Okay, so I might be for the people that are not believing in it. That's up to you. For the people that are believing in it, I'm kind of a bit a rude person.
Okay.
So I'm rude, but with all good intentions. So it's not that I'm rude to um, humiliate you, but I just don't let people humiliate me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yes.
Nobody should ever think that they have the right to humiliate you or it's okay to humiliate you. And when they don't know that they're humiliating you, you should definitely make them understand, hey, if you're going to talk about me or say something about me, make sure it's not around people. Because the next time you do that, you might not see me again.
Yeah.
Or we're going to have something to talk about and be sturdy about it.
Yeah, once you
That's
set that boundary, though, they don't like that.
yeah. Well,
No,
if you don't,
they don't like that.
but that's the thing though. If they don't like the boundary, it's up to you then. You know, it's for you to decide: do I let this continue or do I stop it?
Yep.
And if the cons are bigger than the pros, then you know what to do. You need to space yourself from that person that that thing that is driving you down, you know?
Yep. Things usually react to your reactions. When you don't give it any mind or any reaction, well, then they tend to just walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true.
So I figured out that the sign was from Asmodeus. And
Go
for
on.
the people
What is
that
that?
don't know Asmodeus, search it up. So I was kind of challenging him with his own things where he's standing for. So red and lust, right?
I'm sorry, say that again?
He's known for being
Lustful? Is that what you said?
lustful and standing also for red.
Which, for rent?
Interesting.
I don't know how I'm Dutch, so it's hard to explain
sorry.
sometimes. I think it's written this way. Oh no, it's not. Wait. Well, yeah. Anyway, but I was challenging him. So he came up and he was like drawing his sign on my face, and I was like, "Okay, dude, hold on. Who gave you the permission to do that?" And he was like, "Bitch, what the fuck?" And it was so, and I was like, "Yeah, I didn't give you the permission, so I don't know what you're doing. The fuck?" And then he was like, do you, he was not really talking, but he was like, you could like read it from his face, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, do you even know who the fuck I am? And I was like, does it look like I'm caring for it? And he was like, yes, you do, because you enjoy it. And I was like, okay, I'm not saying that I'm not enjoying it. I'm just saying that you don't have to touch my face, though.
Man.
So we were kind of like challenging each other in like a funny way. And I knew he's stronger, right? It's like, I mean, definitely not gonna make a move or any chance against him. But it was like, yeah, well, I'm not gonna bow down for anyone. You know what I mean? Even not for demons, even not for angels. I'm not gonna bow down for anyone.
Right.
And yes, that might be stubborn, but at the same time, that's why they respect me, and that's why they're not harming me.
Yeah. It's
There is an angel in mythology which has been punished. I'm not going to call the name because people get pissed off about it. Who's actually sharing really a lot. So his story was way more cruel, that's for sure. But the lines of the story are equal in the lines of the story I'm living in right now. But instead of like it's going from punishing from heaven to hell, it's getting punished for being creative, getting punished for sharing my mind, getting punished for being mind-wise more powerful than most humans are. And he was exactly the same. We were both like in that boat, like going for being equal to others, and that's what's been misunderstanding towards a power grab. But I'm not going for a power grab. I just want to be equal, seen equal, and known that my powers are equal to other powers, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, they're going to come for you because you're putting that positive energy out there. So I always believe that they will attack you because you're making a difference.
it's not an attack, actually. The demons are not attacking me, and the angels are not attacking me. So don't get me wrong. I say angels because I have seen different versions of deities, not only from one side, also from the other side. But it was quite fun, and also I noticed that when they noticing that they don't have like a hold on you, like then they will now and then show up, but they will not stay because they know that um, that you will let them see that you're like as strong as they are.
Are they more or less like messing with you? Would you call it that, since like the other word is like not what it is? Like, would you say like more messing with you or
We're
just
messing with each other.
each other? Okay.
Yeah, we're definitely messing with each other. And I started it, so it's totally up to myself.
I'm only asking you this because saying that you're Dutch and all that stuff. Are you more on the belief of Odin? Odin?
I don't follow any path, and that made me face different deities from different beliefs.
Okay.
And that's really weird because I'm saying it's not that I don't believe it, I'm just not following it. And then the most weird shit shows up.
I hear you, man. I hear you. I tried getting into I don't remember what it like the whole thing with Valhalla and because I have Norwegian blood in me and it's because I'm from Sicily. Well, I'm not from Sicily, but I'm a descendant. My parents were from Sicily, and the Viking took over Sicily for about 5 to 800 years, I think. And that's it. So my bloodline has Norwegian blood, and I wanted to go further into that and really get into it to the whole Viking life, but I still love the idea, but at the same time too, not the pillaging and not the all that shit that Vikings used to do, but just the brotherhood. Like I love the brotherhood of it, and it still was also very family oriented, like very like we defend our own type of thing, and I love that idea. But I couldn't go. When I started learning more about the way of things, not well, I guess it's a religion if you want to call it that. Um, it wasn't for me. It was like, no, I can't go that. I'm not gonna go that path.
The only deity from that side I have met is Fenrir, the wolf with the no, it's the wolf with the chains, not
Yeah.
Fenrir. Fenrir is the free one, I thought.
Well,
I don't know. But it's like the wolf with the chains, and
yeah.
that was because he and Cerberus are both walking around in a certain garden.
Mm. I was told I was the reincarnation of Tyr. Tyr, the one of the Viking warriors that was a warlord, but he was a warlord of justice. Like he fought for anything that was right, but he was merciless. Like he was very like he was protecting his own, but he was a bit evil in the
Destructive.
way he would do things.
Yeah, could be. I mean, it's a wolf, so I never took the intent to actually talk to it.
Yeah.
But I know Cerberus showed up in a really weird way. So how I ended up with certain deities is mostly because they probably put it up a scene to see if I would save them. And if I would save them, then that means that they can trust me. And so did Cerberus. And it got attacked. I was walking around on a highway actually, because it started for me all with visiting places where people died.
Okay.
So they told their story. They let me see how they died, or let me experience it. which is not always a good thing.
No.
But I was walking around searching for the place where where that person died, but it turned out that it was Cerberus who was laying as a little dog on the highway,
Mm.
and people were like trying to kill it because it had 3 heads, and I saved that. I saved him, and I was running away with him in my
Yeah,
hands, trying to protect him.
Okay.
And then when things are like, when I was like circled around by people and I couldn't go anywhere, then he turned into a big dog and I was like, oh, where did the puppy go to? It's my reactions are not as it's supposed to be, or as they expect. So, for example, last night I was walking around in outside of the garden, and I wanted to go back in the garden, and then the whole floor turned into lava, and I was falling towards the lava pool underneath it. And I was looking at it, and I could feel like the burning heat. I could feel like my skin burning away, and I was looking at it, and I was almost hitting the lava, and I was like, wait a second, yeah, no, we're not gonna fall into that. And out of nowhere, just like some sort of, well, it weren't stairs, it were more like blocks where I could walk on, appeared underneath me, and the guy who was watching it happen and who was screaming like, you will burn forever, and he was looking at me, and it was like, bitch, what the fuck? And I was like walking up to him, and I was like, that's pretty heat, right? And he was like, you think? It's freaking lava. What do you mean? And then he grabbed my arm, but he was made of like a sort of lava rocks or something. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be rude or something, but that's even more burning. So could you just not grab my arm? I think I confused him there. So he was sitting down on his throne, and I was like, well, I can't go off this area, so I guess I'll just go and sit somewhere. So I was sitting on the back of his throne, right? Like he was sitting on it, so I couldn't sit on it. So I was like, okay, then I'm gonna sit like behind you. Yeah, he didn't expect me to do that. I think if I see all my dreams and how just not giving a fuck about it, I think if they exist and they will watch me and they will watch me tell the stories to you guys, they will be like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this one.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean in the spirit world and the physical living world is two different ball games altogether.
Yeah.
You can't. Their rules are very different from ours, and sometimes it's very hard for us to understand them.
But it's the opposite as well. I mean, we learn from them, but they learn from us. And it came to a point that they were saying, so we had a conversation, but all the conversations are going through subconsciousness, right? It's not like
Yeah,
really a conversation, it's going through the mind.
yeah.
And we were having a conversation, and I was asking, or I was saying, yeah, but I'm not as powerful as you guys, so why would I ever like challenge you? And then he was looking at me and he started laughing and he was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Well, you're like high deity, right? I mean, who am I to mess around? Why do you let me mess around with you?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "You're way more powerful than you think you are."
People hear those
Well,
types of
you know
stories
what?
and think we're crazy.
And then he showed me a ranking, and I could safely say that if I would be from 1 to 10, you could put me at least at 9, between 8 or 9.
It's
But the
awesome.
thing is, I'm just too. So I have the power, but I have not the will to actually harm people.
And you shouldn't either.
Agree.
You know.
And which is mostly turning out in both like spiritual world and here, that people will use me and sometimes even abuse me, and I just don't feel like I would like stand up for myself, but I know that if I'm gonna stand up for myself, I'm gonna hurt people, and I don't want to hurt people. You know what I mean? That's like
Yeah.
being afraid
Of your own strength.
of my own strength, and knowing that if I stand up for myself, I will hurt people.
Well, if it's if it's in a situation, I think if it's in a situation where you're being backed up against the wall, and I'm not what's the word, condoning any kind of violence or anything like that. What I am saying is that if it's a place where you need to evacuate or to remove yourself from the situation, then you have, and for your own good and survival, then you should look into doing it in a way where um, it doesn't come back to you. It doesn't. You won't get any kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Any kind of retaliation from these people.
People are going to
Everything
retaliate.
involves how you deal with it, you know? Like we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier, you don't pay no mind to something that you want to have, or to something negative.
Yeah, that's true. Because there's the other point where you made me think about is sometimes things are left. Sometimes things are better left unsaid and undone, and just walk away from it. Even if it means your ego is being, it's going to hurt your ego. Your ego is the part of you that wants to retaliate and wants to revenge and all that stuff. But at the end, if you think logically, and look at your situation, are you in a place where you could defend yourself and come out of it winner, like, as a winner?
But that's what I was. So I saw this always as like a sort of game, you know.
Yeah.
But recently, they showed me sometimes you need to take yourself off the game board to see the others play. Because if you see
Yep.
the others play, then you will learn their strategy. And if you learn their strategy, then you can defeat them in the end.
Yes. Very true.
And
So true.
Very,
they
very
were
true. And it's
saying
kind of
to
what I'm.
me,
Yeah.
you're trying to win a game,
You know,
and
go ahead, Wobble. I was just gonna interject something. So, I'm sure most of the people have played games or video games where you're looking above, or you know, seeing everything that's happening with the character around it.
Yeah.
Other than, or rather than a first person view where you can only see in front of you. And the difference is when you're looking at everything around you, um, you can make moves to counteract anything that's happening. And it kind of goes like the what you're saying. Be the person that's looking from the outside, even if you're in the situation. Remove yourself, and you'll get clarity. Even if it's not a complete removal, you step back and you just observe for a second.
Yeah. Well, that was what he was showing me, because I needed to search for the game board. The game board was underwater, and I'm
Yeah.
afraid of what I was afraid of water. So at first I couldn't see the game board because I was like, do I have to go into the water? And then he was looking at me and he said like, he said something, I don't know anymore. It felt like he was like standing or sitting behind me and just was whispering it in my ear, right? And he was like pointing. Oh, hi.
How's it going, new house?
Yo, I thought of that song right when I popped in, like wobbledy wobbledy wop wobble wobble. I don't know. I play game. I pretty much only play League of Legends, and what the other guy was saying, like, yeah, you can't touch me in that game, bro. I play support.
But he was pointing out towards the only boundaries, or the only thing that prevents you from going into the water is the boundaries you set for yourself. And by questioning me if you should go into the water, you already set your boundaries, because you are the one that's not wanting to go into the water. And then I woke up and I was like, oh no, fuck this shit. I'm not gonna wake up now, because now I want to know what's underwater. So I forced myself to go to sleep again. And I was at that place and he was like, yeah, I knew you would come back, because you're not someone who gives up that easy. And
Perseverance.
and he was showing me the water and he was looking at me and he didn't say a word, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm going into the water. And then first I was seeing a ship and I was like, ooh, that's a pretty looking ship. And I was like swimming around it, and then I was noticing a game board on the ground of like the water area, and I was swimming towards it and I noticed that there was like one player too much on one side. So I picked that up and he was like,
Somebody dropped right when he said that. One player too much, and somebody dropped. Perfect. Go on.
and then he was like, oh yeah, so it's good that you picked quote unquote yourself off the game board, because that's what I wanted you to see. And I was like, I don't know how to play chess. Like, how am I supposed to play chess? I don't know how to play. And he was like, exactly. So sometimes you have to take yourself off the game board.
Take a rip for me, new house.
Bro,
Before you play the game.
I smoke both things, but I also, the tobacco I smoke it out of a water pipe instead of cigarettes, because cigarettes have a bunch of additives. So I like the organic tobacco and just with a water pipe. But I know it's funny to hear the sound every time. No, I got a little bub for the O's over here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry, Wobble. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Keep going.
Oh yeah, no, that was like, so it pointed out towards me playing in a game where I one not want to be, and two, I don't even know how to play. So
You should play League with me. It'd be fun.
you should play VR with me. That's fun.
No.
Open world. Yeah. That's funny. Play VR before?
No. League. Have you heard of League before?
Yeah, but it was too much for me.
Yeah, it can be real triggering. If you're doing bad and then like your team will start talking shit to you and they're like doing even worse, but they're like talking shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And
Get your
you're not
lane.
doing it either.
Get off my minions. Is all this.
You're so bad. What do you mean?
You're TSing.
Bro, it reminds me of my days playing Call of Duty.
I've never
Isn't
played
that
that.
just like a freaking like free for all like a like death campaign where you just like just trying to kill the other team and you
Yeah.
respawn after a minute?
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. I saw somebody playing it once and I don't know if I tried it, but I played a similar game. There was like a thing on the phone that was kind of like that, like you know, you're just two teams and you respawn after you die after a minute, but you gotta like there's some goal, I don't remember.
You have Call of Duty Mobile. I'll play Call of Duty Mobile.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like my friend was showing me his Call of Duty game, and like right when he turned it on, like the like loading screen is just like gave me like bad vibes because I don't like to have like any kind of like actual conflict. Like games are fun, but they make it like the loading picture. They make it so like extreme and realistic that it like gave me a vibe, and I was like, I don't want to play. You know what I mean?
I'm actually quite good at it. I'm like destroying almost everyone. My death rate is always on like 85%.
Yeah, so you sound like a good gamer, and that's why I'm saying you should play League. Because I play support in League, and like there's only one support on the whole team, and so basically you start the game in the bottom lane, but you're supporting the bottom lane person, and then but the bottom lane is like the worst freaking lane, not just because there's a support down there, but because the bottom laner is usually like just the worst out of every freaking person in the whole game for whatever reason.
You're that one person extra to start the game, but they actually don't want you there.
Oh, not me, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, if you play the support one.
Well, it's not like support's the last. So people don't really like playing support, but I pretty much only play support because after the laning phase, like the first few minutes, then the support can roam to the other lane. So if like my mid laner or my top laner is like really behind, I can go sneak up on the other side. Like I can, come through the jungle or through the river and like just clear it up. So like, we get back in action. Because if the other team, if they start getting a bunch of kills, like if you don't know, like every kill you get is like more money you get to buy items. And so you'll get better items and higher levels. And basically like if someone gets ahead on the other team, it's really like they can pretty much if someone gets ahead, they can carry the whole game. And so you have to like, the support needs to respond. And like, it's really good if the jungler will pull in there too. So there's 3 lanes and a jungler and a support.
Riz.
And basically, you're working
Riz
your way across the
Walden.
map to destroy the enemy team Nexus. But they've got like turrets and everything in the way.
I have tried to play it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't even game through the tutorial.
What? The tutorial's so easy. It's just like it just says like, okay, press the E button and learn your E attack.
Yeah, but
Press
that's the
R
thing.
button.
For me, it has too much different attacks and too much different situations, and you need to learn them all out of your head. And this person can do that, and that person can do that. Call of Duty, it's just you have a fucking gun and shoot.
Well, yeah. So everyone has their different abilities, and that's like the mythology that they put in the game. Like there's, I don't know if you believe in yordles or anything, but there's like mythology beside some of the characters.
Well, the Ninetales girl, I don't know what her name is, but
Ari. Yeah, she's cool.
yeah, it comes from the
She's good midlaner.
Kichun mythology, where females have tails, and how more tails the females have, how more powerful they are.
Oh yeah, no, there's mythology about the nine-tailed fox and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's the kid that
But all
that
the
comes from
characters have
the
that something,
Kiitsu thing. That's where I know the Ninetales from.
And it's like in Pokemon too, Ninetales. But
Yeah,
there's
but
like this.
it
There's like
fits
this
because it
article.
starts as Eevee with one tail, and when it gets
Yes.
more powerful, it gets the Ninetales.
No, Eevee has. No, it doesn't start as Eevee. It starts as Vulpix, and Vulpix has like
Vulpix, sorry.
3 or 4 tails. Eevee is the one that turns into the different. There's like Vaporeon, Flareon.
I made a mistake there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vulpix. I mean, they should have been started with Pokemon if they actually would have fitted in the mythology. Then they would have been started with a one-tailed version, and then going to 4, and then going to 6. But yeah.
Have you seen the game that is called Pokemon Unite, but it's like League of Legends for Pokemon? Like literally, it's pretty much the same. It's cool though. Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
It's on the phone. People
But I
stream it.
recently moved over to a new home, so I haven't set up my gaming area yet.
Oh, a new house?
Yeah.
Nice. That's my name.
That's right. I just saw that. I wish I
But
got
yeah,
more
I
into
know
video
one day
games.
my let's say rudeness. It's rudeness in a cute way, because that's how they described it. But my rudeness and my stubbornness and being childish will backfire me eventually. But yeah, well, so be it.
Yeah, I think League of Legends, because it can be so triggering, is actually like good for you. Like, because like you're either gonna be like have a good game, you're gonna win or lose. So you're either gonna feel okay or you're gonna feel triggered. And so like you're gonna learn how to deal with like being triggered and not be triggered so easily. And you'll get better at the game at the same time, and your coordination and your reaction time to things, and your perceptive ability. It's a crazy game.
I think
It's
that's
so
what,
simple, but it's crazy.
if you played games as a child, I think, and I observed this too, that you have more or have better hand-eye coordination.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Go on your computer into LeagueOfLegends.com and download. You don't need like a special client to play it. Just download it straight from the thing, and then you'll have to load it up or whatever. And once you download it, you don't have to do that again. But basically, you just go through a tutorial. It'll take you like 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes probably, and then you can play on the main server. And so basically, when you first start out, you can only play. There's like different modes, and actually they changed it. There's not the random mode anymore, so I don't even know. But yeah, once you get through the tutorial, then you can add friends and play with people, and it's fun. Because you get with your team, you get a voice communication. Like we can talk to each other while we're playing if we're on the same team. But that's only if we queue up together. Like otherwise, you have to type. You know.
Nice, man.
Oh yeah.
I will think about it. I will think about it if I can make myself do that again.
No, I do like TikTok videos. Like when I have a good game, I'll like I get a bunch of kills as support or something like that. Then I'll like go back and record it and like put like a funny sound on it or whatever.
Does people actually watch that?
It actually gets more views than my regular. Like I usually do videos like highlights from this Chinese game show where it's like games and girls do dances and stuff. But my League of Legends, like me playing this game, playing support and like getting kills, always gets way more views, like 100 more than like what's normal. Not always, but usually.
That's crazy what gets views and what doesn't get views on here.
Yeah.
I mean, I still try to figure out how to get more views on my account, and I was like, a friend of mine was like, "Yeah, well, you have done like the study media developer and that kind of thing. So why are you not going for the thirst traps? Thirst traps are like doing really good." And I was like, "Yeah, but it's like I could, but it's not really my content. You know what I mean?"
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you give a part of yourself away when you do that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
it's
So
not
basically,
energy.
like I tried it. I don't do it every time, but if you like, when you're like trying to like making a title, the two hardest parts of making a video is finding a song and making a title for the video. Like, what are you going to call this video that you just spent 20 or 30 minutes like editing this, and now what are you going to title it? But so the thing is, and it's not always helpful, but there's this new thing on TikTok called Creator Search Insights, and you can just type that in your search box, and then it'll have an option to click view, and then you can like either just scroll through it, or you can actually search at the top for like your topic. Like if you type in dance, it'll show you like what people are searching for in that, like the trend. It'll show you like 76% are searching this dance, or like this about dancing, or like this specific dance or something. But yeah, you can do like that. And like I said, it's not always helpful, but you know, sometimes you get a matching keyword with something, because I don't want to like falsely tag my video, because then it just wouldn't be good. But yeah, it's
Nope.
helpful sometimes.
No clickbait.
Yeah.
Want to see something creepy?
Let's see what you got, Wobble.
I don't know if I can show it. I don't know
Wobbly,
for how long they will
wobbly.
fly around. But this
Is
is
it-
happening every evening. Oh, they all landed already.
Okay.
Wait, I'll try to put it in picture.
Oh.
Oh, you can't zoom in here. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so you see the roof of the church?
The steeple, or that round barn looking thing?
No, in
Those
the back.
with the pointy tower.
Yeah. Okay.
If you take a good look at it, you'll see crows swarming around there. So the whole roof, every evening around this time, is covered in crows.
That's really
And they're
cool, though,
just
that you have that
swarming
view.
around there.
Have you guys ever studied like the old world?
Yeah.
The old world. I took like a class on that at the community college.
It's really crazy, and it happens
Oh, no,
every
I studied the
evening.
New World, actually. My bad.
So what I'm
You mean,
referring
like,
to is
Africa?
like the energy emitters or collectors
Oh.
that are found on these old buildings.
Yeah.
And if you look, it attracts birds.
Birds.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating.
Well, there's something about those buildings. They just won't tell us what it is.
Yep.
Well, it's probably because the moths. Like, think about it. Like, what do birds eat? Moths. But like the moths, you see them go to like when you have there's like a nighttime event and they have those big lights set up on the wheels or whatever. It's like moths swarm like right in front of the lake. But is it because it's light, or is it the energy that they're attracted, like, or both?
It
So
could be
like maybe the
both, yeah.
birds are up there eating moths.
Could be.
Because
It's
I've never seen a bird attracted to a light or attracted to anything at all, really.
it's probably the energy around it.
Yeah.
I wonder how you can really measure that though with those buildings. Like,
Well,
how would we turn them back on?
I'm wondering about that because, like, I've seen a video where, and this is, allegedly for entertainment purposes, but some dude, like, put a drone, like, an energy meter thing on a drone, and he flew it up, like, a certain height, and then he was getting, like, a certain voltage, like, the higher he went. But, like, how the freaking heck do you, like, if I had a freaking pole in my backyard that's, like, 200 feet taller, so whatever it's supposed to be, like, how am I going to, like, you just plug your, like, a car jumper, like the jumper cables, plug it onto your pole, or what do you do with it? That's what I'm wondering.
I wonder if there's something that was like
How do you
in the
harness it?
buildings. Yeah, almost like a 0 point energy type box or something that would harness the energy. I don't know if that would
Yeah.
be something that they would have in the building.
It's crazy you say box because that's like the fireplace thing, the Tartarian fireplace. They
Yes.
talk
There's
about
a graveyard near that thing, by the way, so maybe.
What are you talking about?
Huh? Oh, near the church where the crows are, there's a graveyard.
Oh,
How old is the graveyard? What years are the stones? Do you know?
Do you know, Wobble?
Huh?
Wobble, Wobble?
Yeah.
Do you know how old the graveyard is?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Like, what does that do? I don't know. It just brings up so many questions. I can go down that rabbit hole.
I've been walking there once, at midnight,
oh my gosh.
and I could like feel the eyes following me.
Have you ever seen or heard of the show called True Blood? I only saw it on Amazon Prime Video or whatever, but have you heard of that?
Yeah, I've
No.
seen all of them.
You've seen it, bro?
Yeah, I've seen the whole season.
Bro, fine. I've seen like all of it, dude, like
Series.
every season.
Series,
like
I mean.
yeah, bro. That was a trippy ass show.
I feel like you're being told in that too.
So this is the second day that I've heard that, and from you too, Newhouse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've stayed clear from watching things, but I've been talking about getting Netflix again.
I don't think it's
And
on Netflix.
it's not on Netflix. Oh
It
man.
was on Amazon Prime Video, and that's the only place that I've ever watched it. So
Well, I'm
Might be
pretty
on
sure my
HBO
wife
Max.
has Amazon
it's like an
Prime.
app. Yeah, I watched it on my phone.
That's what I do. I watch everything on my phone too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Game of Thrones and all that shit, bro.
Oh yeah, I've watched Game of Thrones, House of Dragons.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think those are true
Yeah.
stories too.
New
That's,
season in June for House of the Dragon. I read
It's
the book,
fun.
Fire and Blood, that book.
It's fun that you bring up that you think it's a true story, because I have watched it, and then I was catching myself going towards a river in a dream, and I was on a boat. So you know when like the dwarf guy and
Tyrion Lannister.
yeah, I'm bad at names. I'm sorry. That he's like, well, not necessarily captured, but he's on the boat with the guard with Daenerys, and
He's always
they were
getting
talking.
captured and shit.
And they were talking, and yeah, well, he had like the ropes on his hands, but they weren't really tied up or something. So, but he they were like being on a boat, on a small boat, and then one of the dragons was flying over that boat. I was dreaming about a place which is only be able to go there with a boat, and apparently it has the oldest remainings of a dragon. Actually, in another dream, I was discovering dragon eggs somewhere in ice mountains. And I brought them to giants, and they were hatching it by throwing it in fire.
That's crazy.
So I think that dragons do exist, still exist, but mostly hidden underground or inside
It
mountains.
looks so thrilling to see one though.
It would totally be cool.
You just get this like feeling, like you'd feel it. Like you wouldn't just see it, you would feel it. You'd be like, oh my gosh.
That's the whole thing. I actually woke up with the same bruises that I got in that dream. And that happened like a lot of times. It happens that I wake up with the same bruises that I got from the dreams.
That's freaking weird.
And
Interesting.
I'm not like acting if I say that I can really feel it. It was the same way. At some point it's cool, but at some point
Whoa.
I had dreams where I was offered, and I was saved just in time. But I was offered by a group of people that lived in also icy areas, and they were seeing me as something evil, but I wasn't evil. The actual evil ones that were those people, and they tried to burn me on a cross. And the moment they captured me and they were hanging me on that cross, I could like feel every inch of like the metal going through my body, and that I can tell you, I never have felt like a knife or something in real life, but this is like, I think I know how it feels. And
Wow.
that's weird. That's really, it was really scary in the beginning, and then I got used to it, that I was like being followed and like people are trying to kill me because they knew. So you get used to it, right? You get used to the pain, and you get used to people are trying to do that. So
Well,
it doesn't.
no, you can be manifesting that on your own, and like I'm sure you've seen like the random videos on TikTok about manifestation, and like, you know, I take that kind of seriously, and so you know, it's
Yeah.
freaky that stuff like that happened to you, but like, don't manifest it, you know, on purpose or on accident.
No, so I thought it was manifesting, because I know you can manifest some benefits to actually get away, but this was more of an event that either could have been happened in the past, or some event that wasn't set up by my own thoughts. So you could control how you react on it, but you couldn't control the event happening. You know what I mean? Like, it came also to a point that one day I was walking through a city, and then I saw a witch hunt. And
In a dream or in real life?
sorry, in a dream.
Okay.
I was seeing a witch hunt, and some person who was using some sort of chemicals to destroy the witches.
That's scary.
But the chemicals were turning out to be the greatest disaster because it turned out that they couldn't really control the chemicals. So I was trying to control it with help of two witches.
Yeah.
But in the end, the person that always was protecting me, they started to attack the person that was protecting me. So what are you doing if someone attacks a person that's protecting you? You're protecting that person, right? It's normal to do.
Yeah.
And those people.
You're reminding me of League of Legends right now, which is
Yeah, I hear it on your background. But those people were killing the person who saved me, and in order to get him back alive, I had to give something to actually bring him back. So it was an eye for an eye, and that's the moment where half of my face became half of his face, and half of his face became half of my face. So we could see through each other's eyes if we needed to.
Interesting.
But yeah, I had actually to. That was the most horrific part, that I actually had to take out my own eye to save someone who I actually didn't know, but he was always there, so it felt like something I needed to do, right? It's like he was saving me in so many situations, even situations that I did manifest in a bad way. He was saving me out of that. So, yeah.
And this would be in the dream realm?
Yeah.
It's almost like you live another life when you go to sleep.
It is. And that's why I never sleep, because when I go to sleep, I'll be as active as in real life. And well, I call it real life, but I think it's another dimension. And so it has nothing to do with manifestation, because it is another reality. And it showed me in many ways in different dreams. He was like, you're one of those travelers who has bodies in all dimensions, and you just switch from bodies to be part of that dimension. I have many times that I actually could see. Well, and that's up to you if you're gonna believe it, because that's where I'm usually hurting people that are believing in either globe or either flat earth. But I was flying around above the earth, and this is cool. Wait, put me on big screen.
I want the big screen.
I don't know if you can see it.
The birds?
You see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's way more than you can see it, but there's actually at least 200 of them. It's sad that my camera doesn't pick it up.
It's just so interesting on the other side of the pond, like the architecture, what you guys have over there, the history. It's so different in the US. You have history, but it's so young because everything's been so erased over here. that it's just so nice to be able to see the buildings and what they used to be. It's like the Berlin Zoo. They turned all of the, it's look to me, it's like a Tartarian type city or town that was turned into a zoo.
You never seen it?
In real life, no, just through video.
I mean, I can walk around. I can show you if you want.
That's cool.
Tour.
I'll say that, but my phone is 11%, so maybe
No,
we do that
yeah,
another day.
another day. Yeah, totally
Yes.
understand. Yeah. I actually have to jump off because I'm done with my lunch break. But Truth, thanks for inviting me in. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, good.
no problem. Anytime, man.
Thank
Lunch
you.
break.
I'll see you guys around.
See it.
It's evening here.
Oh. No.
Yeah, those dreams are pretty cool. I think I have learned a lot more out of my dreams than I have learned in real life.
It got quiet. Break the silence. Don't let it capture you.
Don't let it what?
Don't let the silence capture you. Don't let it get you.
But what if it already got us?
It has. Oh, I don't know what to do here. What do I do?
What do you mean?
Well, nothing. I'm trying to figure. I'm playing a game here in the back too.
What game are you playing?
Zelda.
Oh, that's a cool game.
Good old Zelda.
Is it Ocarina of Time, bro?
No, I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom.
I experience myself in my body. I cannot move, but I could breathe, almost like if I can come out. That's you should be careful with that, because stepping out of your body is one thing, but managing to get into your body, that's a lot more difficult. So be careful with that. Don't do those things on purpose if you're not knowing the consequences of it. And if that such things happen while you're not being aware of it, like not being manifesting to do that, then you should be telling yourself, how do I explain that? It's like if you can see a time or something that should be a time indication of, or you will be in that experience, just calm yourself down, and that's really, really difficult. Calm yourself down and tell yourself that if you know that it's a dream, then you know also how to wake up, because you're being aware of the fact that it's a dream.
Journeyman.
So force yourself to wake up, and that's by telling yourself that you're fully aware of the fact that you're dreaming. And a good
What's up,
indication
Rookie?
of Rookie.
What's up? Sorry, I had to do a little maintenance before I came back. Sorry.
Well, you're good, bud.
So always keep in mind, dreams don't know time, because the way we know time here isn't the way they know time in different dimensions. So time only works on this planet the way we know time.
Yep.
And by being aware of that, time doesn't the clock isn't ticking.
Goodness.
In your dreams, so it always will be standing on the same time, whenever or wherever you look on a time indicator. Yeah. Oh well, I can safely say that dimensions are working in reality as in
Yeah,
dreams.
dreams. That's what we're talking about, dreams.
But now it's for dreams, so we're not talking about reality now.
Gotcha. Okay. Well,
It's the
whatever we
cardigan.
want, yeah. Now we can talk about whatever we want, right?
Yeah.
Dreams are
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely. That's why it's here. Check it out. I'm gonna put this back
My
up on
dreams
the
aren't
main
fun,
screen.
though, that's the thing. I've had
See
some
what it
dreams
says?
that are fun, but not really.
Random discussion. It's whatever you want to talk about today. That's what's on discussion. So we can divert, we can continue, we can do whatever you guys want.
That's good. Cool. Thank you.
If you want to add on, hey,
I'm sorry I didn't come up. It's just that I get embarrassed. Get embarrassed by what? It's nothing to be embarrassed of. It's. You shouldn't
That's
see it
okay,
as a
really.
curse. You should see it as a gift.
don't
I've
be
had some
embarrassed.
pretty weird
This is a
dreams,
time to
trust me.
let go. You're in a social media site where you're half of these people, or actually 90% of these people, you will never meet in real life. So embrace it, man. Be something that you're not usually, but also be yourself. So understand what I'm saying. Act outside of your normal reactions.
Hey, Rookie.
You mean think outside of the box? You mean?
Outside of the box, react differently. It's however you want to take it.
No, I'm just making sure I understand. It's all good.
His microphone is zooming. You have zoomies in your microphone.
No, I just have a fan in the background and it's noisy.
Oh.
I'm going to walk away for 2 seconds. I'll be right back, all right?
Let's start a fight. He's gone.
Okay, 1,
Yeah.
2.
Fight me.
Time's up.
Ah! I'm joking.
Why do you got the freaking Cookie Monster on your picture, dude? You want to fight about
Because I like the Cookie Monster. It's cool.
it? Yeah, oh, it's cool,
You
bro.
want to fight about it?
You saying it's cool because he's blue, unlike Elmo? So you're saying Elmo's hot?
Fuck Elmo, man.
No,
But that's
shit.
not blue, that's red.
I'm
Can't
kidding.
you see it?
I'm
That's
kidding.
facts.
Bro.
Hey, man,
That's
I
not
like purple
Elmo.
better, but I couldn't find a Cookie Monster that was purple. Sorry.
Well, that'd be like the freaking McDonald's thing or whatever it's called. You know that purple blob guy?
Grimace.
Ew, I'm getting watched.
His name is.
We don't
Grimace of
say
all
his
things.
name on the stream, bro. That's forbidden word.
What? Really?
Yeah, you can't say his name.
What's that mean?
You'll get banned.
I guess it's too late.
Well, I don't know. I think the host will give you like maybe one more warning before it's just like set in stone.
Sorry, I'm brushing my hair.
It's pretty aggressive brushing, why don't you do like a nice
Is that
even
some kind of
stroke?
Mandela effect or something?
What?
Character, hello.
No, he's blue, bro. He's always blue. Cookie Monster.
But who said it's blue? Maybe it's purple.
Yeah, what is blue to you?
Are you colorblind or am I colorblind?
Well, it's kind of a it's more of an indigo color, I guess. But like, but
Maybe blue, maybe.
I think generally people say that's like a dark blue, but I don't know.
I have always wondered.
People don't use the word indigo in English or in America anyway, generally, unless they're talking about like some like esoteric like indigo, this or that.
So I have always wondered about people
Well,
who
women
being
see more
colorblind.
shades of blue and reds and things like that, supposedly. So maybe it's because women see different colors, and that's why there's more colors that you don't necessarily identify with, and you're getting confused.
Bro, my friend can't see green or red. He just sees both brown. And like this one time at school in high school, he was like,
Whoa.
this other dude was wearing this green hat. And he's like, why you always wear that brown hat? And it's a fucking green hat.
Yeah, it's colorblind, yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that they have like glasses now that you can wear that will actually like fix it. Like they have some kind of crystal in them that reflect
I heard
whatever
something
color,
like
and then you know what I mean. And it
Yeah, I don't
supposedly
know.
corrects it, or it does something between both eyes that tricks you, or whatever it is. But it makes you see better, so you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if a person grows up in an environment where they only see the colors black and white. Well, it's actually not colors, but when they only see black and white, um, would they see when they grow up for like 10 years, only seeing those two? Would
Wouldn't you
they
have to color the
see?
skin white or black?
Huh?
You mean like if they only saw in grayscale? You mean like black and white television? You mean? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So only in grayscale, only gray.
Bro, I don't call it grayscale
Gotcha.
because
well,
that.
well,
is
just
so-
where I come from, yeah, grayscale means that it's like a black and white TV. That helps other
Bro,
people
haven't you seen
understand
Game
what
of
you're saying.
Thrones?
Yeah, I've seen some of it.
Yeah, bro, grayscale is so disgusting. So just call it black and white. Just call it black and white, or we're gonna get flashbacks.
That works. I mean, I'm not saying. I'm just making sure that we're on the same level. That you're not talking about like if you only put a person in a room with the certain colors, well, their skin's going to be a different color and their urine's going to be a different color. So you can't avoid showing them a color, right?
No.
If you're talking about if
well,
they're
I did want
colorblind
to point out.
completely, yeah, that's different. Yeah.
I did want to point out that so imagine someone would grow up in a room only with black and white, and they will go outside for the first time after 10 years. Would they be able to see colors?
Yeah, I don't see why not. They'd probably be fascinated. I'd love to be there and see the look on their face. Like,
'Cause-
that'd be awesome, right? Yeah. To,
But maybe the
do that
eyes
for
didn't
or
develop.
Give somebody the vision of sight for the first time and watch their reaction. Like when they see you and they see you moving around and they identify your voice and your touch, you know, all of what they've ever discovered of you. You know what I mean? That would be awesome.
But I can imagine that maybe the ability to see colors wouldn't develop if they never have seen it when they grow up.
Yeah, I think maybe they'd be afraid at first, but I think most people, as long as they were exposed to normal things, you know, and you didn't shelter them from every other thing, like they were able to watch TV or what have you, or whatever, you know what I mean? It'd be different, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what, you know, how, to what extent are you talking about this experiment would have, you know what I mean?
So the eyes are developing towards environment because eyes are different. It's actually a way different organism than your whole body. And that sounds weird, but it is true because if our body would recognize our eyes, it will attack our eyes and it will eat it.
I've heard that, but I mean, is that
So
really true, though? I mean,
So have you ever heard of if you don't use it, you lose it?
that's what I'm like trying to say. Like, we know colors because we have learned that the color red, as we see red, it's called red. But who said it's actually red? You know what I mean?
Like your red could be
well,
like you
yeah,
could perceive
I
a different
understand
thing
completely.
as
It's
red.
the same thing with taste. Like if I give you something and I tell you this tastes like a banana, and then I just keep doing that, giving you stuff and then telling you that tastes like a banana, right? And you would eventually start to think that's a banana. And then if I gave you a real banana but that taste that I gave you wasn't the same one, wouldn't that freak you out? You'd be like, wait a minute, this doesn't taste like a banana. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, is that what you're talking about? Like the comparison between if you were
yeah,
unexposed to it?
Yeah, it's the
exactly.
same concept.
And that in a big
I
scale.
think, yeah, that would probably be difficult for you to understand, but I think you would. I think in certain cases, like vision, like I think if you saw in black and white and then you saw in color, I think it would just be awesome to you. But maybe if you weren't able to see it all and then you were able to see, it might take you a while to get used to that. Like you'd probably be tripping over yourself, even though you can see now. You know what I'm saying? Because you're
So
used to using all those different senses to walk around. So now you have to identify what your eyes see with what you're actually feeling, and if you've never ever seen before, you see what I'm saying? That would be a more drastic change. You get what I'm going with that?
You can even break it down uh, into how we do things today. Like different languages. So different words or different sounds, more or less, identify the things that we see, and they're different. That's the key word. What we see as red in Spanish, it might be rojo. Dutch, it's going to be a different sound.
Rojo.
Uh, it- it's kind of the same concept, but in a more something that we can recognize, something that we use
Amarillo.
every day.
so I'm wondering in a big scale, everything we see around us has been taught by people to us when we were born.
Will you say rouge?
Roosh.
We say rood.
But can you say it? Because I love your voice. I love your accent. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude.
Rood.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'm just wondering. So we say dragons, for example, don't exist. But what if we have been learned that would be look like dragons, but we never actually have experienced dragons, so we haven't been grown up with it. Maybe we just don't see them because we never have been developed towards seeing them.
Are you talking about them being a different frequency of sound and vision, so that you would only experience them if you were in the same space? Or what do you mean? Or you mean they're physically not in the same realm, but in the same dimension?
Well,
How do you?
maybe you could see it as our languages, for example, are still based on the same, let's call it same frequency. Either way, it might sound different, but it's still the same frequency. We can still hear it and we can still witness it. But what if those
Right.
things that we will consider as mythology or either fantasy, or what if those things are built on a different frequency which we once had, but due to development into a bad way of human nature, we just have lowered our frequencies. We could have seen so much more than
Interesting.
we do now, because now we all rely on technology and we all rely on the things we say that we have been making because we're smart, but actually our knowledge is our greatest weakness. Because of our knowledge, our bodies are not getting older, we're getting sick more from different things because we're all been relying on technology. We're not actually living fully on us own anymore, and that does lower our frequencies because we don't have to think and we don't have to see those things anymore because we have technology. But that doesn't mean that it's not there. And I'm just wondering why tribes that never have involved technology in their living system can see more and can do more. Although they might look dumb in our eyes, they actually be the ones that are the smartest because they can see and hear things that we can see and hear. And we consider that as dumb, but is it dumb for us to not hear that or for them to hear it? Because all the things we find, it's like, oh, well, tablets and things are showing that we have, that dragons might be existing. And that, like, yeah, because back then we didn't have like the technology as much as we have it now. So they didn't rely on that technology. And that's why they were able to higher up their frequencies towards the point that they actually could manifest fire movements. They could manifest. That's where the Last Airbender comes from. People are thinking, oh, it's just a movie. No, because there are people that are able to fly. Those people are not showing themselves because those people are most likely get killed or captured. But it's possible. It's still here. And it's the same with giants. It's out of our frequencies. That's why we can't see it. Certain
That's actually an
living.
interesting concept because I know exactly what you mean. Like it's the same thing like when we talk about alternate dimensions. You know, we can't see them because we're outside of that frequency. Because they're supposed to be layered upon each other, one on top of the other.
So up, so below. People are always thinking, if you talk about different dimensions, that you're talking about something that should be up in the sky or like in what they call the galaxy. Yes and no, because so up, so below. We're on level 3. We're a 3D dimension. And everything we use is either based on a 1D reality or a 2D reality, which creates a 3D reality. So we're able to lower ourselves towards the 1 and 2, but it's only a certain group of people that can hire themselves towards 4 or even 5. So imagine it's like a game and you're playing currently level 3. So if you play level 3, you'll be able to defeat level 1 and level 2. Maybe you could be defeating level 3 because then that's where strategy comes in. And if you have the right abilities, you might be able to defeat 4 as well, to level up, right? So imagine beings from level 4 and 5. Level 5 can defeat 4 and lower. Put that in a perspective of world. 5-dimensional creatures, and dimensional means different frequencies, different ways of the body being built. 5D can see everything underneath it. And with the right mindset, they might be able to see things above it as well, creatures above it. So ghosts, demons, angels, they're all being on different levels. And it's actually mythology based laid underneath us. So you should see like the fourth dimension can be above us towards heavens, but it can be also towards hell. So those creatures either way can see us, can touch us, can do whatever they want with us if they are pleased to do so, because we're not seeing them, and we only can witness them when it's most likely either already too late or you're dying. So that's where you might be, based on how much you leveled up in this life, you can see the creatures of that area. It's hard to explain in English for me. I hope you kind of understand what I'm what I'm trying to say. So, yeah.
Yep.
I think either way we think we're smart, we're not smart at all. We just like to think that we're smart. Because if we would know that we will be dumb compared to other creatures, that will hurt our ego, right? So that's why we like to think that we're smart. Which keeps us on a lower frequency. But yeah, that's my perspective of it. I mean,
I think when you take on the concept that you know everything, you automatically take yourself out of the realm of learning. You know?
yeah. But I think the best way to learn, and then I'm talking about mythology-wise, if you really want to know it, then not search for the books. And that sounds maybe a bit weird, but the books are only working for now. And what you're searching for is answers that are based on history, on another time area. So with the books being written now, with the mindset of people that are thinking in the way that everyone's thinking now, you're not gonna get your answers, because it's simply it works for here. Like if we're talking about like science and that kind of things, yeah, it works, because we're basing everything we're making off science. So of course it works. But it doesn't mean it works outside of this world. And that's the same with time. And that's the same with if you're searching answers based on history, then I honestly, if you really want to do that, then you should search it by the source. And the source is calling up the being that you want to have answers of. Yeah, Frederick, you can just scroll further because even trying to get in a proper conversation with you just doesn't work.
You
Because
can't.
it's.
You can't bounce out, Fred. Fred, you better come up here and talk with us, man. It's random, so you can change the discussion if you like, bud. That's the joys of having a random discussion. Talk with us, man. It's random.
How can you not? How can you say books are not your answer? What are you talking about?
Yo, Fred.
Books are not your answer on history based. It's your answer on things now. So I'm not like debunking anything about science or something, because science does work for here, for now, for this timeline. But if you want to search answers on things that have been finding place in history, then books are not your answer.
I totally disagree. That's where the truth lies, in old books. And what are you talking about? This reality? Then our science is bought and paid for. It's garbage today, so we don't use a lot of that. Basic science works. The stuff they're talking about now doesn't work.
I'm not talking about science. I wasn't talking about science at all. Like, science works.
Where? No, you mentioned science. Where are you going to get your information if you don't want it from books?
I was like talking. I just like literally said that science-wise it would work, but history-based, and we're talking about deities and that kind of thing. So we're not talking about how you make a car or whatever, like how you see a tree grow or something. Like we weren't talking about that. We were talking about like deity-wise.
Real quick, so Fred, I think you can relate to this. So some of these books that we read today, they're corrupted. They don't have all the information or have no information that's correct. And I think that's what Wobble is kind of referring to. I don't think it's a complete assault on books or literature.
Yeah, that's what I tried to say. But then again, like, and I'm not English, so I don't know how to put it in words that it's not like insulting anyone. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying it the way it comes up in my mind, and that's might not be always for you guys the same understanding.
I get what you're saying about modern books. There's lots of lies in them. But a lot of our oldest history is in books.
Right, but okay, so when you read a book, you also have to research. So you have to use discernment. You have to apply it into the world, and if you can apply it without any, I don't know, let's use issues or having discrepancies, I think that's where you're going to start from, and you can build upon that. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely. Even researching something online, I'll look up words and definitions. So then
Yeah.
I have a better understanding of what I'm reading.
Yep, exactly. So I think that's a lot what she's referring to is don't only read but apply, and once you can apply it into the world, then you can build upon it. Then you know that it's something useful. If you can't apply it or you find discrepancies with it, problems, then you have to discard it. You have to throw it away.
Yeah. But most people nowadays
Yeah, I would agree with that.
are just relying too much on just what they read.
I agree. And I said this the other day too, is they don't apply it. They have a problem with applying it into the world. They read something, and it's either they believe it without testing it, or they don't even look into it. You know, a lot of people that we deal with don't even look into things. They were taught something, and that's as far as they go, is what they were taught.
It's worse. They even read a headline and then assume the whole article is factual. If you read the article, like I saw it posted by, this is a good example. It said an 82-foot sea monster washed up on the shore. And they got this big picture of this whale-like creature on the beach. So I'm reading the article, and down near the bottom of the article, it says some guy found a skull and a few other pieces of bone sitting on top of a rock at the beach. And from that whole skull, they created an 82-foot sea monster.
So have you guys ever played the game where you sit in a circle and somebody tells you a bit of information? You know, it doesn't matter the information, and then you pass it around the circle, and then when it gets to the end,
Yeah,
the end
telephone,
point,
bro.
it changes. The whole story isn't even the same.
Yeah.
Isn't even the same.
Yeah, exactly. That's the very reason, like all these globies, they talk observation. This is the very reason when there's a crime scene, the police every interview everybody possible because everybody has a different vision of what happened. And then they try and sort out the facts.
Yep. And just to add on, that would be in a perfect world. Nowadays, they just get, one person's allegations, and boom, you're getting, you're getting something from that. So they don't even do their due diligence anymore.
Vigilance, bro.
Due diligence. Sorry about
Vigilance.
that.
Vigilance, bro.
Yeah.
Diligence.
Yeah, like Barron. Barron is a fraud, and he's been telling all these people that he's been measuring curvature with a theodolite. It's taken me 8 weeks to get a debate with him. Yesterday, I crushed him in under 3 minutes. Proved he was a fraud.
Hey, you got to debate him, Fred? Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dip will have the video. It'll be
Bro.
He didn't know the international standard for accuracy, like when you're taking measurements with slope length and theodolite to 100 meters. We got him to set up a theodolite and prepare it for taking an observation. When it's done, let us know. 2 crucial steps. When you set up a theodolite, you level it with the bubbles, right? And then you take a forward. You take what's
Your connection is really bad.
Yeah, you're breaking in and out.
And you take a back measure. Oh, hold on.
You're breaking in and out.
That's because I was in the car. Is that better?
He's saying the theodolite.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Like, what is that shit? The yodelay.
You can go ahead, Fred. It's better now.
Okay, I'm back. Now, when you set up a theodolite, once it's all leveled with your bubbles, you take a front measurement at 100 meters. It's called the front face. And then you take a back face measurement 180 degrees behind the device. And then, if those measurements are exactly accurate, your device is level. If they're not, then you have to re-level it and take 2 measurements again. And then, when this is all completed and you've verified that it's level, then you can take a measurement.
Exact or something.
Yeah, he started. When I asked him the international standard, he said, what, stage 1, stage 2, or stage 3? There's actually an ISO standard, an international operating standard on accuracy of a theodolite. And they say they're only accurate, like 100%, at 100 meters. Every 100 meters after that, it drops substantially, like 65% at 300 meters. It's not accurate. He's measuring miles. He didn't know the international standard for accuracy. Like if you're going to slope the angle, but he does that length measurement with a cord or a chain. It's called cord length. Now, according to the international standard, based on temperature, you have to calculate an adjustment for that cord length. And then you get an accurate He didn't know the international standard, which proves he's never taken a surveying course at all. It's a very basic thing. I've been waiting 8 weeks to put it to him, and he got crushed.
Yeah, I recorded you the other day before you kicked me out of the live, but I uploaded it. So if you want to check it out, I tagged you in it, Fred.
I
He's
kicked
got the
you out of
Wi-Fi, bro.
the live?
That they claimed you did. I don't know who. I thought it was some mod, but then I went back like later on, and they were like, "Yeah, it was Fred." Whatever, but I don't care, dude. Yeah. Well, you booted me off the
I think because you keep.
channel because I pissed you off or something.
Well,
It's
it's
all
because you
good,
keep.
man.
People are asking questions, and we have a basis that most of us believe, and we're trying to work at, and then your world. I know lots about the underworld, but you can't discuss those kind of things with a basic globie. You have to stick to the basic facts, stick to the land, stick to curvature, not talk about observations and stars and all that. It has to be the ground. And then that's why I can annihilate him every single time, is because I stick to curvature. Every time they try and detour away, I bring them back. Prove the curvature. Here's my proof. The language says it's flat. This says it's flat. That says it's flat. I don't care what you perceive or what you observe. If you see a curve on the horizon, that's your eyes. Because the horizon, if you look at the definition of horizontal, it means parallel to the plane of the horizon.
You can't even see it with your eyes unless you're
like
in a NASA
Vertical.
picture.
That means the horizon doesn't curve. That's
The
right, but they
reason,
keep trying to say they see it, right? So I just crush that.
the reason I was like saying like I'm not
You
gonna go in conversation with
want to say
you.
something?
Oh. The reason I was like saying that I'm not gonna go in a conversation with you is mostly because every time I've not been like much with you in a conversation, but every time I go in a conversation, it's you're kind of like used to like interrupting, and maybe we're not on the same perspective. Like I'm not really interested anymore in like the
Probably about 80% above most people that are on here talking truth. I've been at it a lot longer than most. I know many more things, and I seem to have a built-in quirk since I've been a child. I
So,
need to
Fred,
know things.
do you
So if
think we're on
somebody
the
tells me
underworld
something, I
side?
look it up.
Do you think we're on the underworld side, man?
No.
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 I
No.
mean
So
I
we're on the
mean
top side of whatever it is,
No.
no.
the magnetic field.
You know what? On that note, BlackRock could be double-sided because a magnet really has to have a positive and a negative field, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can pretty much prove there's a hole in the north that wind goes down to. I can prove Rupus Negris or BlackRock is there with a climate model. There is
Yeah.
something there blocking the wind. But when you study Hyperborea and Atlantis, I've talked to them quite a while. Years ago, I studied them. Hyperborea talks about Atlantis being right there. And hold on. What was I going to say? They say that the Aryan race, like every race here, has Aboriginals in the background in history, except for Indians.
You're like every time you're about to say something.
Say that the Aryan race came from
Freddie,
the
keep
hole,
cutting in and out, bud.
from the world below, and invaded on the surface. Damn.
Yeah, but so it's below from our perspective, but it'd be also be below from the other side. So basically, I'm looking at Norse mythology and kind of somewhat assuming that we're on the bottom side, or like the roots of the tree of the world tree, Yggdrasil. Did you hear the lizard egg thing I was talking about? like Yggdrasil, the name of the world tree in Norse mythology. So Yig, that's YGG, and it's kind of like egg. But then Drazzle, if you say Drazzle backwards, it's lizard. So it's like the lizard egg is the magnetic field or something. I don't even know. But I thought that was interesting. Yggdrasil.
Yeah, we are in an egg, a toroidal field. That's the egg. But I think there may be an inverted from this world. When you step in a hole, you're right side up. You know.
It's really hard to understand what he's saying if he's keep cutting out.
And I do believe in an
Get out
inner
of
world.
your-
Hard
Get out of the
research.
microwave or whatever you're doing, dude. Get out of that.
Fucking headphones.
Oh, okay.
Better?
Yeah, it was good.
Now,
It'd
what
be
I'm
like
saying
you
is
say
there
something
might
and
be
like-
the Norse underworld.
Well, so that hell would be.
I'm saying there might be an underworld.
Yeah. So Asgard is the top,
I think
Midgard is the earth, and hell is the other side. So I would think that hell corresponds to like the stars, like that area, like, and then so Asgard would be through the hole across the Bifrost Bridge and all this, and that's the other side. That's
See, I think all that you're talking about is probably another dimension. The Bifrost Bridge is a portal.
well, you got to go through the
Egyptians came through a portal. They invaded this place. Right now,
world.
this world is based off Egypt. Even though we have the Norse in history, they're either not here or they got beaten up.
And I can agree on that one. Yeah, it's based on Egypt.
Well,
I think many of these races in our history that we're confused about, we tried to add in our timeline, are just visitors through portals.
I think it's partially the Christian, whatever it's called, that like they had to like. I have this book about rune kennings where it's like different symbols to symbolically like give a hint to what rune you're talking about, and it's like this whole book, and they had all these crazy symbols, but it's because they were being persecuted by Christian people at a certain time, I guess. And I don't know if that's the Norse specifically, but it's the Norse runes. So I mean, yeah, I can pull the book out. I've got it on my shelf here. It's called Icelandic something.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't mean like the Voynich manuscript. That was from somebody else, somebody from another land, a visitor from somehow like a portal, and dropped that book here.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't remember what that was all about.
The Voynich manuscript is like, say, a journal of science and technology. If you were sent to a distant land to investigate everything about it, the plants, the animals, the people, that's what the Voynich manuscript is.
Oh yeah,
It has detailed descriptions of
is that
plants.
the one with those crazy
and,
pictures and shit?
Yeah, they can't even
Yeah.
translate it.
Right.
And the plants that are detailed in the book don't exist here.
So
Like it's a
maybe
book talking
it's from
about
those 4
another
islands.
place in another language that we have no record of.
Because the aurora borealis could illuminate that central area. Who knows, or what happens in that part? But some people think like all you have to do is cross they call it the Bifrost Bridge, but that'd be like that's why they say that you're supposed to go in Mayday is what people talk about, like Mayday, Mayday, I'm going down like through the hole, because that's when the sun is like swirled into the center more, and so it's not going to be all ice. It'll be like a frost. Is what people talk about. So I don't really know.
I gotta go because it's evening here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I'll be back later, but I'm gonna go for something to eat.
Yeah. What are you
So,
feeling? You getting some Chinese?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Okay.
I think I'll go to the store and see see whatever I like to buy.
Yeah.
Well, all right, Wobble. Thanks for stopping up.
So
Yeah, nice talking to you.
see you guys maybe later.
All
Yep.
right.
Lee.
Nice talking to you.
Sorry?
Fred, did somebody record the your debate with Baron? Because I really want to see
Yes.
that, man.
Yep.
Dip recorded it. Did he put it on his? Did he post it?
No, I'm waiting to hear from him today. You should have it.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
send me a message when you hear from him.
Oh yeah, it'll be the most viral Flat Earth video, I think.
Okay. Sure.
Bro,
He got toasted.
I've been talking shit to Baron for a minute since the first time I see him, dude. He's crap. He's garbage.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew he didn't know what he was doing when I watched a few of his videos just to verify it and the way he talks.
Oh my goodness, I can't stand listening to that guy. Whenever I run into his lives, man, I just start talking shit down in the comments. Every time.
Yeah, he's been avoiding me and I finally caught him.
That's good. That's how you know that they're they're agents, man. I don't doubt that for a second that Baron is an agent, man.
Oh yeah, after we crush him like that, they'll have a meeting and try and work on a way to defeat that.
Yeah. We were showing your video last night, or not video, but your audio when you came into Duran's live and flat smacked John, that one dude that didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah. These guys always come in thinking they know what they're talking about because they seen somebody else's bullshit.
Yeah, it's all regurgitation, man. All they do is repeat what they heard. They don't have original thought in their whole cellular structure, man. No original thought.
Well, I didn't come up with this, but someone pointed it out, and it's totally correct, like the Nike logo. And then I also noticed that Nike is an anagram for Enki, like the Sumerian Enki or whatever. But like you see how it's like the ring.
Yeah, I remember you saying something.
When you go deep enough, if you really go deep enough and you open your mind truly, the Bibles have nothing to do with our fucking history. Divide us. We have a creator, but it's not a man like that.
So yes and no, because I agree with you, Fred.
Jesus, Peter live in the. Listen, look up. I got like a 14 video playlist version is crap. Jesus was a Mason. King George was a Mason. And they even call it the so-called Bible.
So I agree with you.
That's not the truth they really worship.
That the reason that everything is so divided, especially within quote-unquote religions, is to divide the people up. It was the first original division, or the start of it. And one thing that I always like to refer to is that we know that. Hold on, I got a call. Hold on, I got to take this. I'll be right back.
Back streets back, all right. No. Did you ever notice the symbolism of like I took this picture. I put a video up, like it was right before I did the video that I recorded of you talking to that Navy guy, Fred. But I did a video with like some of my old drawings and shit. But yeah, it was like a meme video with like a goofy like background sound, but I just put a few pictures together. But including this, because it's like on the 8 key, it's like that 6-pointed star symbol. But yeah, that's like with the runes, it's like matches up with the runes, and like all the keys have like a special symbol on there. All the numbers, anyway. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to do 10 things at once. I'm
So
probably
here,
gonna go. I'm headed to the thrift store, see if I can find some old books.
see there. So that's a bind rune, like 2 runes put together in red. But and they runes, it's more than an alphabet. They have correspondences and stuff like that. But so basically, representing the central axis of the world tree, or the axis mundi, or an antipode going from the North Star to what's referred as the black sun. But that's the star symbol on every keyboard, the number 8. Actually, my Alienware computer has like a 5, just like a star, like an actual 5-pointed star on it, just because it is Alienware and they want to be like weird or something. But yeah, normally it's the 6-pointed star like that on the 8.
They
6-pointed.
they keep interesting things.
On the 8.
Do you remember the women's Pound Me Too movement? Or not?
No, that
It was
sounds
Me Too.
interesting. Sounds interesting.
You remember that? They were all hashtagging Me Too. It was a women's assault thing.
No,
Uh,
I don't know what you're.
they used Me Too. I'm old school. What you call the hashtag now is the pound sign.
Right.
So that all the girls, you get that?
Oh yeah, no, I got it the first time you said it, but
That's how they fuck us up with things. But I gotta go here.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
I gotta go. I'm headed out.
All right, Fred. You have a good day, man. Maybe we'll talk later. No, what I was saying is that we all come. If you understand where we are right now, we're in an enclosed system. So everything that was created here came from a point, and that includes any religion. So each religion is going to have bits of the truth within it, because it has to. It has to, for people to even subscribe to them. Period. Now, your job is to take these bits of truth and use your discernment, research as much as you can, and then put these truths into one bit of information. Because everything is going to come to a point, and everything coincides with literally everything, and is intertwined. It all complements itself, or one another in different ways. But your job is to go through these things, use your discernment, and pull out the correct information.
It was a good lecture, bro.
Thank you very much. So what do you got? Hey, Stop World Control. We haven't heard from you yet, bro. How's it going?
Yo,
What's new?
He's eating something.
oh, man. What's new?
Everything and anything? What's on your mind today?
Not much.
That seems to be the general answer. So we were talking about dreams earlier, and Wobble always has some pretty far out dreams, man. But I always like to hear what she has to say, because it even though they seem far out, dreams come from I believe that dreams come from another dimension, and it's meant to either guide you or warn you or direct you sometimes, but they always have meaning. Just like anything else in this world has a meaning and a purpose, so do dreams. And it's very fascinating to try to interpret what the meaning is.
Yeah, especially when it's like a bunch of cute girls in your dream. You're like, oh my gosh, what was that about?
Those are always the best ones, man.
Yeah.
But
No,
that
it gets weird sometimes. Like you never know what's
it's
gonna
not
happen.
very fun. It's not very fun when you wake up and you're like, oh shit.
You're like, I'm passing out again. Hold on. Right.
It usually happens right when you're getting into it, man. You're like, oh, wake up. Damn it.
I don't know. But I've had
Oh,
like
man,
weird kind of like symbolic like dreams. Like one time I was with other people and we were like in this like underground, it was like a cave, like a round kind of cave room with like mud walls and shit. And it was like a round like natural looking cave area, and then we all had to go to like this classroom like in the cave, and there were like actual like classroom tables for us, and like I don't remember. I think I had the same dream like that twice, but it was like years ago. It was so weird. Like we slid down from the first room, like down somewhere, and then we like went to the classroom or something. I don't know, dude. It's crazy. It was all like underground, like in a muddy cave kind of situation. Like not muddy, but it was like that.
Yeah, it's wild, dude.
Yeah. Like, what is that supposed to mean? I haven't had that dream for years, but I remember it. I remember a dream I had when I was like a little boy. Just one, but you know, man, I don't know. Dreams, they're interesting.
Yeah, and that's putting it lightly, man. They're
Yeah.
like I said, they're fascinating to hear other people's and to kind of talk about your own.
Yeah. I've only had like pretty much one, like maybe a little more than that, but I would say one for sure. What's it called? Where you realize you're dreaming and then you can do stuff.
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Like you hear about people talking about that they can like control what happens in their dream. There's a certain name for that kind of dream. Basically, if you realize you're dreaming, and the first time you realize, you'll probably wake up right away. You're like, oh, I'm dreaming, and you'll wake up like right away. But if you realize you're dreaming and you don't wake yourself up, at that point you can do whatever you want. And it's kind of crazy. It's called it's on the tip of my tongue, bro.
I've heard about something like that. I don't know what it's called though, but it's fascinating to hear. Because I don't know if I shouldn't say I can't, but I haven't been able to do such thing.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
You'll wake up once you realize you're dreaming. You'll wake up right away. But like you have to be like super chilled about it. Be like, not like, oh my god, I'm dreaming. Be like, oh, I'm dreaming. But like you keep it hush hush. Like in your dream, you just say it in your head. Like don't like say it out loud.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to be like sneaky about it, like for real. And it sounds weird, but that's how it is. I don't know.
No, I know what you mean, man. It's like over exciting yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the thing that wakes you up is overexcitement. Think about it. So let's go back to what we were just talking about, like when you're you see a pretty girl in your dream, and then you start to do stuff. When do you wake up? When you start to get excited, when you're starting to get down or whatever you're doing. That's when you wake up, man. Or when you're falling somewhere and you start to
No.
get to the ground. That's when you wake up, man. It's like the overexcitement wakes you up.
I mean, I kind of agree with that, but like, I don't know. I don't
It's
like dream of having sex with people like that.
Well, no, not only that though. I'm not just referring to that. I'm just referring to the even if like you're falling, if you're you know, it's before you hit the ground when you wake up. That would be your peak of excitement, or you would call excitement, or maybe startling. It's a point of high energy, you know, and that's what wakes you up. I think it makes sense. It makes sense. Every dream that I had that got overexcited or had a point where you would just be like gasping, that would
So,
be the time that you'd wake up.
well, yeah, I was just thinking like sometimes if you get past whatever point that is in your dream, like you're like you'll still wake up just after, like you'll get through whatever it was, like a situation in your dream, and then if you get through it, then it'll be like you'll wake up after that instead of, I don't know, because they happen really fast. I guess it just seems like a long time. I don't know.
Well, a dream has no time. So a minute feels like an hour in the dream world, you know?
Yeah.
Literally. Literally. That's why you can't even conceive how long you were in a place. If you fall asleep for 5 minutes, you dream, that dream it could feel like you were there for a day or an hour, or, there's no concept. You can't perceive time in a dream. But all right, you guys, I think I'm gonna shut her down. I got some the family's coming back, so I have to get some stuff ready, and I'll probably be over in Duran's live. So I thank you for coming up, and
Yeah,
we
good
will
talking,
do
man.
this again. Yeah. Stop World Control, 100%, dude. I love your name, man, and hopefully you come over to Duran's live, and we'll talk over there.
That's good.
All right, later, fellas.
Yo.